We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
David. This comes from Facebook. David is using an Xbox One S as his Blu-ray player and streaming source with his Vizio E-Series TV and Marantz SR5011. So he's getting pretty bad lip syncing issues here. He was able to correct it for Blu-rays with the Marantz's audio delay function, but for Netflix, it's still way off. And it can't seem to be corrected manually. So would a standalone Ultra HD Blu-ray player or different streaming box solve the problem? Why do I think this is HDMI CEC issue? That's the first thing that popped into my head when I read this question.
Shouldn't be, but who knows? Because that thing causes so many problems you wouldn't expect.
That was the first thing that popped into my head. Was that was now? I've got an Xbox One. I do, yes, an Xbox One, and I've had the original Xbox. I have had lip syncs issues before, but they was like slow minor. I didn't notice it until I think I started playing Rock Band on the 360. But Netflix in particular, I've had lip sync issues, but it's always with specific episodes of specific TV shows, which makes me think it's the episode of the TV show, and it's not it's not me, it's that TV show, and it just drives me crazy. My wife's sitting there next to me. I'm like, "How can you watch this?" She's like, "What?" I'm like, "The lips are not moving the same time. Were you kidding me? How can you watch this?" She's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, Tommy. Just go away." So
I hate lip sync problems
because
they're
nuts.
There are multiple things that it could be, and there's no easy way to just say, "Oh, we know exactly what it is," because there are multiple things that could cause the problem. So the first and foremost, it sounds as though if you were able to correct the lip sync problem manually for Blu-rays, that means the audio must have been preceding the video. It means there must have been a video delay, and the audio was coming out before the video, because then you could delay the audio and get it back in sync. That makes me wonder if you have some of the video processing settings in your Vizio E-Series TV activated, specifically frame interpolation, where it's attempting to create frames that didn't exist in the original source to give you a smoother, that I call weird looking image. So I think, what the heck does Vizio call theirs? True motion?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. Yeah.
It's going to be something with the word motion, and it's smart motion, smooth motion, something to that effect. Make sure that is turned off, because that could definitely be or at least a contributing factor to it. In fact, try to turn off any video. There shouldn't be noise reduction. There shouldn't be MPEG block reduction. There shouldn't be edge enhancement.
Turn off everything you can. In fact, check your receiver as well.
Dynamic,
make sure that
anything shouldn't be on. Yeah, turn all the video processing off. Turn all the video processing off in your AV receiver as well. Yeah. Make sure that thing is just passing through the video signal. That takes care of the settings that you can kind of do in your display and your AV receiver. Now, the Vizio E-Series, once you have all the video processing turns off, has very low input lag. And the AV receiver, once it isn't processing the video, has very low lag. So that, if it was one of those problems, that will fix that. The other side of it is the Xbox One S, the updates, you can't call them recent anymore, but they're not exactly old, that allow all the bitstream output. Those things screw up. That you keep having to turn them off and turn them back on again. I sometimes get echoes. I sometimes get reverb. Turn it off, turn it back on. In the settings, I'm talking in the Xbox One's audio settings.
Turn bitstream on and off?
Turn bitstream on and off. Yep. Turn it back to PCM. Just for a moment. Just turn it back to PCM. You'll hear the little sound cut out for a moment and come back in. And then turn it back to bitstream, and all the weird reverb and crap is gone. I don't know why it does that. It's a computer. It has problems. That's bugs. But I've had that. I've had that more than once.
I've never experienced that
with my own Xbox. So that's a simple thing. Make sure that the bitstream output is clean just by toggling it on and off. Stupid thing. But those are the suggestions I can give you. I don't know if that will fix your problem. Make sure that HDMI CEC, often called HDMI control, is turned off on everything, because that is a stupid thing that screws things up for no reason. Do that, and hopefully that'll fix the problem for you.
So the real question he asked, though, was would a standalone Ultra HD Blu-ray player or different streaming box solve this problem? And the answer is we don't know. Because we don't know where the problem really lies. If the problem is lying in the fact that your TV is trying to do a bunch of stuff that you don't really need it to do, then no. It's not going to solve the problem. Right. You're just going to have a different box doing different stuff. Now, he did not say that he had any other sources connected to this thing and that they were all working fine except for his Xbox One. Now, if he had said that, we would be in a real pickle. Because I know for sure that we would have no idea what the Xbox could be doing to make streaming different than... I
mean, I don't have an Xbox One S. I have an original Xbox One, a launch version Xbox One. I can tell you that isn't just inherently causing lip sync problems. Like I say, it's got this weird thing where I have to toggle the bitstream off and on every once in a while to stop it from reverbing on me. But yeah, it's not just inherently, at least not mine. So,
but it does make sense that if your TV is doing processing, that the Netflix would be different than the Blu-ray, because the Blu-ray, when it comes in, is coming in at 1080p, like clean. And if you're watching does the Xbox One S2 has 4K?
It does 4K, that's right.
So if you're watching Ultra HD Blu-ray and your E-Series is able to show 4K, you're getting 4K direct. So yes, that could be making a difference. But your Netflix, depending on your connection, is not going to be 1080p, and it's not going to be 4K, and it's not going to be... So there's going to be more processing that has to happen. So that is maybe some evidence that it is the settings of your TV, and that this can't be
fixed. Because out of the box, some of them are weird. So yeah.
I kind of dread my friend's M series going in there and trying to figure everything out. His son is already absconded with the remote, by the way. The tablet.
Well, you can control it with an app on your smartphone.
That's right. Easy. The tablet has been loaded up with games and now does that instead. So I forget the name of this guy that we're talking to. David. David says his PC 2000, SVS PC 2000, can crush the room, so output's not a problem. And he said I'm putting a second sub in the right front corner, just as we suggested. But he can't help but wonder, what if it were dual 13 Ultras or even 16 Ultras? Are we saying there's no difference at all to be had? Could we use our own rooms as examples? If Tom replaced his dual PC-12 NSDs or Rob replaced his dual PC-13 Ultras, what would be the audible effect if we went down to, say, dual SB-1000s and then up to dual PB-16 Ultras? Okay, my room is not as small as Rob's, but I think the SBs would be just fine in here. I would be missing some very, very lowest end output compared to the PC-12 NSDs if I went down to them. Audibly, I don't know how much I would notice the difference. I don't know that I would notice that much of a difference audibly.
It'd be small.
The tactile difference, though, would be maybe not super noticeable, but would be measurable for sure. You know how much my room would shake. And,
right, peak headroom output, man.
And just being able to play tones that are lower than the SB could. Now, if I went back up to the PB16 Ultras, I think it's the same thing would be happening on the other side. I would not be missing anything audibly or gaining anything audibly, because audibly I would still have calibrated them so that they are the same loudness as the other ones. So I would still be hearing the full, down to 20 hertz, but they could play much lower, which means there may be tones that I had not felt before that I would be feeling then.
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, those 16 Ultras can go right down into the 10 hertz range.
And how much actual content is there for there? Very little. Almost none.
There are some specific scenes that people have come across, you know.
But
Like
so what would be the difference? And this is what it comes to me. This is where I have to constantly fight myself because I look at the numbers. I'm like, I want something to go down into the teens. You know, I need it. It's important for my well-being. I will notice a difference. And I know I have to remind myself, dude, you are not going to hear a difference. You're not going to hear a difference. You're not going to feel a difference. Once you pressurize your space and you're getting the full 20 hertz, maybe down a couple of extra hertz, so you get a couple of those tones that are a little bit lower, you've done what you need to do. You're done.
Yeah.
You know, yes, you can have a bigger subwoofer in there, but it's not going to be doing anything more for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty darn close to saying, in my tiny room, there's like no difference to be had. not with this selection. I mean, I guess if I played some specific scenes that hit 20, 18, and then down into 10 hertz, I could be measured. I might be able to feel something of it. I might be able to, you know, cause the doors at the back of my room to rattle more.
Yeah, you might find a new rattle you didn't know was there.
But I mean, for the vast majority, if you blindfolded me and you calibrated a pair of SB1000s, a pair of my PC13 Ultras, and a pair of PB16 Ultras, and you properly calibrated them so that one isn't obviously louder than the other just because it was miscalibrated, I don't think I can tell any difference. I don't think there's any difference to be had. Not for the vast majority of content with properly calibrated, because the SB1000s can pressurize my tiny room.
Yeah.
There's nothing left to do in the bass.
He asked, lastly, will AVRant ever be presented in HDR with Atmos sound? Maybe by episode 1000, we could fling paper clips at the ceiling and shine a flashlight at the camera just for effect. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll talk about that when we get to 1000.
Yeah, we got 4 more years to go. So.
All right.
Or no, more than that, 1,000. That's 9 more years to go.
Is that right? No. Episode 1000. We're on 500 now. So, yeah, 4 more
550, years. Yeah, but it's 50 episodes or so per year.
Oh, right. I was thinking days.
It's not 100 per year. So. Yeah.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.